Okay. Yeah, share your screen, no?
Okay.
Explain your problem.
Okay. This is the Apex class error I have. In problem cannot find the declarations and Apex class.
Sugandhi, I couldn't see your other screen. Just a meeting screen only I'm seeing.
Yes.
Now visible?
Yes.
Okay.
This error?
This second line is this. I'm created Apex class, but in the Apex class have error.
That's okay. That's okay. Ignore it. Okay. Can you right click on
Okay.
the simple the CLS file? Yeah.
Okay.
Deploy it.
Okay. Oh.
That's all.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Any other issues, guys? Any other issues?
One doubt in the drop down rate combo box.
Okay.
That one.
Are
Can
you
we
working
have
on
any?
or what's
No, I
you are
haven't
running?
started. Let me share. Let me share my screen.
See, if you tried something not working, then we can discuss. If you like to try, then you proceed.
Okay, what is label alone? Just got rest of all I
Label.
have completed label in that combo box.
Okay, just 1 minute, Muthu.
Sure, sure.
Muthu, proceed. Muthu, sorry.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Mm.
Hope you are able to see this. So here, this one I didn't try. Only this one I didn't try. So here, this label, this is the standard format.
Yes.
Here the label is status, which means this one, right? So here, if you see, this is the label. I can know, but
Correct.
here this
That
is the
label is
standard one.
different. Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay, okay.
This label is a
Okay.
standard format. In
Mhm.
any combo box, in the case of Visual Force a tag, select list, select options. You remember, guys? There are two pair of values. There are two values, pair of values you will pass. One is label and another is value. What is label? What needs to be rendered in the UI? I mean, in the drop down. In the, for example, the second option, line number 9, in progress.
Mm.
Hey, in space progress. In space progress. The label
Yes.
that will display in the UI. But when user select the value, what actually that contains, that is nothing but value. So
Okay.
when you refer that option, when user select any drop down option, what value you can refer in JS, that is nothing but that is being referred by value attribute of the array, options array. Okay. No?
Okay, but here in our case, stage name should be populated, right? So whether this value can be like as per the stage name or this value, like
Can be
for
same
example,
also. It can be same or different. That's fine. You can have any value here, but I believe you should not have space.
okay. So this needs to be passed to Apex and to query it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then.
Yeah.
I will try.
Okay. Yeah.
I will try.
Able to see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay. A Lightning data service. You know call Apex, right? When you call Apex, when there's a dependency on the server, more dependency on the server to perform DML, to perform to perform some business logic, right? Then we'll go for Apex, because Apex where we write the business logic, and you can have your SOQL with with the filter conditions, right? So, but are there any way like you call the interact with perform DML like update, delete, without writing Apex? Okay, it's also possible in LWC, right? In a Lightning, yes, generally in Lightning, it's also possible. What is the counterpart? We have it in Visualforce framework. Do you know? Without writing Apex, how can interact with your database? How do you perform the standard functionality like edit the record, delete the record? Standard controller. So standard controller, you will refer the class standard controller class is in the same name of your object, right? It can be a standard object or custom object. Similarly here, Lightning data service. So you see the name, right? Data service. The service is for data. Data in the sense your data layer of the architecture, right? The database. So without writing Apex, you can perform all sort of operations on the data. Okay, and you can access the metadata as well. So what are the approaches we have in Lightning data service? We have a component based data service, and we can also use wire adapters and functions in the module Lightning /UI modules. So there are two different approaches. Basically, there are two different approaches. Okay, one is component. We can use Lightning record edit form, or Lightning record form, or Lightning V form. Any of these three you can use. You know, in R also we have the same base components are supported in R also, right? R also we have Lightning record form, Lightning edit form, Lightning V form, and wire adapter is a new one here. In LWC, additionally we have wire adapter, and in ARA we have force record data. If you come across familiar with Lightning data service LDS in ARA, you would have noticed there is additional tag force data that is not available here, but we have another additional approach, wire adapters and functions. Okay, and you know what is the important property of a Lightning data service? Have you gone through any materials earlier? You'll see the here, no? Record loaded in Lightning data service are cached and shared across the component. For example, Yeah, listen here. I am in the lead record page. Okay, I have a top highlight component. I have a lead path. Okay, and detail tab, activity tab, and all. Okay. Now, if user do some changes in the phone number, for example here. So, let me get into the screenshot of the page and explain. Yeah, if user do some changes in the detail component, we have detail component here, right? And we have a lead path component here, correct? And we have a highlight component here. So there are three components, right? So component 1, component 2, component 3. There are three components. So what is the advantage? What is the important property of LDS? When user do some changes in one component, for example, this component, we perform a DML with the help of LDS. Which means Lightning Data Service. Okay, we change this phone number to something like this. Okay, so what will happen in this case? We perform using LDS, the DML using LDS. So the changes will happen to that particular record. But what happened to the same data available here? This is different component, right? To get the updated phone number, this component has to retrieve the data and get the updated data, right? It has to perform a retrieve operation to get the updated data because it's a separate component, right? It is not the same component. Of course, this will get the updated data because we updated it. The phone number will change to 999 But what happened to this? This will still remain same unless this performs some retrieve, right? Retrieve operation. It has to request the data, updated data to get the new phone number. But what happens in the case of LDS? If LDS is part of the page, so I have a LDS, using LDS, I'm performing a DML operation. What will happen, once the data is updated, every component sharing the page will get the updated data. Every component sharing the page will get the updated data. It is not required, it is not necessary. The component 1, the component 2, or any other component on the page, it is not necessary to do the server call. It is not necessary to perform the server call because LDS has its nature, a property which will share the same data to all the components for the same record ID. You get my point? Is that clear? So LDS basically improve the performance of the page. You perform DML, you get updated data. The record will be shared to all the components in the same page. The other components need not make a server call, which is very great advantage. When you have LDS as part of the page. You get my point? So
found out here. The same wire also will do, right? Wire adapter. What we learned recently.
Wire adapter. I don't think so. I don't think so. Wire adapter is how we are relating wire adapter. How we are relating wire adapter?
We are getting the values from Apex, and so whatever the changes is happening, the component also will get updated.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you perform this example and let me know, even I don't think so it happens because suppose I have a call Apex example page here, okay, and I do some changes, some changes. I have some using LDS. I perform some update operation. You see whether all the component here will have the updated data? I don't think so.
Okay.
You get my point? So I have 4 different
Okay.
components here. Call imperatively,
Mhm.
call apex. Suppose if you have LDS here, do some update. All components in the same page, sharing the same record ID. We are talking about the record ID. We are not talking about the list of data here. You have to try
Mhm.
with one single record, updating using one single record and see. You get my
Okay.
point?
Thanks.
Yeah. So okay, so that's what they given here. All components show the same version of record. If the page is composed of components showing the same record and the component accessing the same record, see the significant performance improvements, because a record is loaded once, no matter how many components are using it, every component will be able to receive uh, the same data, which means the component 3 is reloaded because of LDS operation. Component 1, component 2, any other component in the same page will get the uh, record sharing across. Just hold on 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, and lightning. I'm sorry, someone knocked the door. So just upload these notes for your reference. Okay. There are 2 ways you can perform. You can implement Lightning Data Service. One using component based, and other using wire adapter. And Lightning Data Service is a declarative service, right? You need not write Apex code. And these are some of the advantages. Lightning record loads record data progressively. Cache is it contains cache, store the data in the cache, so the performance will be faster. And it invalidates cache entries when dependent Salesforce data matter changes, which means any changes to the database, the cache will be refreshed automatically. Okay, and optimizes server call. That is what we discussed. We need not every component need not make a individual server call. Okay, right, and using base components. We'll see first using base components, right? So using base components, which means the Lightning record form, record edit form, record view form, like in Aura. It is in Aura. The same thing in your LWC. We just follow the different naming convention. That's it. So when you use this, what are the data operation you can do? You can create a new record, edit, update. You get my point? Record form basically used to perform create a new record, edit the existing record, edit and update are same, right? Okay, yeah. And record edit form, you can only edit. Record view form, you can view, right? And let us try one example, okay? So in HTML, I use record view form, and it's going to have mainly three important attribute. Okay, object API form, record ID. I go with form first. Let me explain the form first. Right. And the fields. So there are three attributes I'm using. Okay, and record. I mean, object API form is going to refer the object name. It is going to refer the object name dynamically. Wherever you place this form, that object will be associated with this form. Like in your standard controller, you refer the object name, account, in the sense account standard controller you refer, right? But here you can refer it dynamically by specifying, by declaring the an attribute object API name, and we have to include this module. Same thing I am referring here. Okay, and record ID, again I am going to declare another API property, record ID. Same record I am referring here. Okay, and what are the fields you like to retrieve? Suppose I am going to place this record form. Suppose I am going to place this record form into account page. Account or contact, for example, contact. Okay, let's see, contact. So I'm going to place this form into contact page somewhere here. Okay, and yeah, right. So what will happen? This form, this API, object API, will automatically refer to contact, and this will automatically refer to the ID of the particular record, which means this ID. That will be dynamically associated. When you place this form anywhere here, for example, this will automatically associated with contact object name. This will be automatically associated, resolved with contact ID. Okay, able to follow this? Shall I proceed? And what you can do in this case, by default, you can perform edit operation. We'll see when you place this. Okay, so but what are the fields you can edit? That you have to specify, right? Because you already specified the field here. So let me declare one property here. So this is going to be array here. So now you specify what are the fields you like to refer in your LDS form. What are the fields you like to refer in this HTML form? Okay, when you place this form into contact object, this will be a contact, and this will be a particular record ID. And what about this? The field you have to specify now in the array format. So say for example, contact name, title, email of the contact, and phone number of the contact. Is it clear? So in order to place this, into any record page, I just include the target. Okay. record from example 1. Let me try. It should come. Wait. Fields, fields, name, title, phone number. Object API name. Confirm. So this is fine. This will take the standard compact layout, which means what are the fields available in the compact? Only that will appear. Example title, account name, phone, email, contact owner will appear if you go like this. Okay, but specifying our own field, either this approach, this approach is basically you have to refer the schema of every name, contact.name, contact.title, every name you refer this. Another approach is what I'm talking about now. Okay, that would be a simple approach, but I don't know. It's not working. Wait. Yeah, it's also here, right? Record form. Okay, this is what exactly we are doing, right? Yeah, record form. It should work, no? See it? If you form record ID, email, name, title, phone number, fields.
I think Ranjit need to pass the record ID, maybe it's a contact or.
Oh, no. There is a typo. There is a typo, right? Fields. There is a typo noticed. Need not pass because this will be dynamically referred to this RT-API property. The record, the page where you implementing this, that page record ID will be automatically populated with respect to the object. I made a typo in the attribute. I given as field. I hope it should work now. Okay, we'll see. You get it? So I got the name what I referred. Okay, so as soon as you click on pencil symbol edit, by default, the record form, when you specify the ID, remember, when you specify the ID, what will happen? The form form will bring a edit page for you. If you specify the record ID, you can hard code it, but hard code is not the best practice, right? The record ID should be dynamically referred from the page where you are implementing this record form. So where you are implementing in the contact page. automatically this will be referred to contact, that particular ID, and what field you like to update. You get it? So as soon as you click on this edit symbol, what will happen? The controls save and cancel will appear. You get it? So you change it automatically. Listen, all of you. You see this? This is a different component, LDS, right? And this is a different component. And this is again a different component. So what will happen now? As soon as I modify this, every other component will get the same data. You get it? So the data is being shared. The page is not refreshed. This component alone is refreshed. But what happens? All components get the same data if all are sharing the same record ID. You get my point? Okay, so a simple example, right? So you specify the record ID, object name in the form of what API, and specify what fields you need to update. So this form will behave like a edit form. Okay, if you like to edit for particular account, then you also specify the relationship field. You know, right? Relationship field, guys. Account ID. Okay, and let me put this inside the lightning card. Okay, so you now I got the account name also, right? I can also change the account name if you want, right? So this is your record form example, and we'll get into another form of using the form. Okay, record form. So record form, hold on. Yeah, record form you can use for record form. Yeah, over here. So record form you can use to create a record, edit a record, view. So all these three you can do. Record view form only for view, not for edit. Okay, record edit form you can use again for creating a record, editing a record, but not for view. You get it? And the record form, will not allow user to configure the UI. The UI configuration you cannot do, which means you always able to render the standard UI only, like this. There is no look and feel for your form. It's all standard look and feel. You get my point? Only additional things configuration. What you can do is you can add the fields. You can specify what fields you can render in the form, but not the layout. Suppose I like to bring 3 fields in a row, and I like to format this title in a block, bold letters, and I like to bring a email icon here. Formatting, what I'm talking about is formatting. 5 fields in a row. Next 2 rows should have only 2 fields. Then I have another section with 5 fields. You cannot format your UI. That is not possible in the record form. You get my point? That is not possible in the record form. So record form can have only see here, a custom layout is not possible in the record form. Okay, a custom layout is not possible in the record form, but you can specify the standard layout. For example, if you see, over here. Yeah, in the record form, I specify column equal to true and the mode equal to edit, layout type equal to compact. The layout type equal to compact. Okay, it accepts the value like a full. If you specify full, what will happen? You will able to see all the fields that you are seeing in the detail. All the fields will appear in the edit form. If you specify layout type equal to full, layout equal to compact, only the fields there in the highlight panel. Okay, and still you can also choose how many fields you would like to display by specifying column equal to 1 or 2 or 3. You get my point? And you specify mode equal to edit. If you don't specify, I believe it's going to be view. It's only display. Okay, and yes, view by default. Yeah, uses view by default, which displays output field with edit icon. Yes, view by default, but the edit icon will appear like this. It's a view only. But what will happen if I specify mode equal to edit? The form will render in edit mode, which means the pencil symbol will not appear. It directly will render in the edit mode. That is the purpose of the mode. You get my point? By default, it is view mode only, right? It is view only now. You have to click on a pencil symbol to edit it. Now what will happen? It will render in edit mode only. Listen. It directly available for editing, isn't it? So that's another difference. And what are the other form of one form we already seen? This is one form. What are the other form? Like this. You refer the schema. You import the field, the schema of the field, like contact name, title, phone, email. Then you refer this field here. Okay, and then the form will render edit form or edit form with these fields in the UI. No other difference. Okay, so I think you guys are good to practice this, right? I need not show the demo for this, isn't it? Shall I move on to another one?
The last one, this one alone you can proceed. So the same we did it for the previous example you did, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the difference on this and that? The schema one and
Schema basically will have a very tight integration with your database. So you referred you cannot remove the field, you cannot rename the field. If you rename the field, any changes to the field property, for example, you change the length of the field, that will be automatically available, and you cannot remove the field from the database. These are all standard field, but if it is a custom field, you cannot remove it. You cannot, because it's have a strong reference in the JS. That field references basically called a static schema definition reference. You cannot, that is not possible here. You can delete the field that you referred in the form, because see here, we don't refer the field. You remove the field, that's allowed, because it's not a schema reference. It's just a layout reference.
okay. So if you wanted to call any custom field, then the custom field API should be given, correct?
Yes, and _c you have to give.
Okay.
Yeah, and another field is string, the compiled and validation. And you don't know if the fields are valid until runtime. We recommend import references. Yeah, this is very important thing. See, passing in the object and field using string does not provide a compile time validation, which means the field referred using this form. This is not the there won't be any compile time validation happens if I give any incorrect field here. Don't think so. It will do the compile time validation. It successfully run, right? But when you run it, you may get runtime error, because we are not referring the schema here. You get the point. The schema is basically, does the compile time references. If you give incorrect field here, what will happen? You cannot compile it. So reason we recommend importing reference to object and field from the schema. That's one of the important difference and advantage, right? You get it now? Why you are going for at schema at Salesforce/schema reference?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And record edit form. So I said earlier, when you go for record edit form or record V form, you like to have a custom a layout, which means I would like to use a layout form, lightning layout item, so that I can arrange the field the way we want. So it provides some flexibility. It provides some flexibility to design your own form, which is not possible in the case of record form. You get my point? So listen here. So record V form, similar to the form, we also refer record ID, API name. But how we are referring the field here? Listen, the field references we are not giving in the JS. Rather, we can use lightning output field. So lightning output field, you can specify inside any of the UI design layout, either in the grid form or layout form, lightning layout or lightning layout item. So you see here, we decide, right? You just specify 2 fields in a row, and you specify 3 fields in a row. It's possible. So you design your own layout, which is not possible in the case of record form base component. You get my point? Why you are going for record V form? If you are able to do everything here, then why we are going this? In order to build your own UI, customize your layout. So custom layout, custom field layout, we go for record V form. Is it clear? I'm just going to copy the same thing. Listen. And record V form example. And V form. V form. And I don't specify the field here. I don't specify the field here. I remove the, yeah. So how I'm going to specify the field now? Between this tag, I'm going to design my layout. Whatever the way you want, you can design it. Okay. Using output field. So what will specify in the output field? There is an attribute called field name. You have to specify the API name here. You have to specify API name here. So name, phone number. Let us implement this in the account. Okay. Industry. Rating. Ownership. Annual revenue. So now I specify the fields. Can I implement any changes in the layout? Yes, it's possible in the case of record V form, because I have now no option to specify the layout. I can use anything I want, right? In this example, they given grid, but I can also use other thing also, right? Can I use record layout here? Yes, we can use, isn't it? Record layout I can use. Would you like to give a try? Something like this. Right? So you specify each and every column like this, and you arrange the way you want. Okay, and other cases, you just simply follow. Try this. Okay, I don't want to try now. Let's see. Yeah, now suppose I like to one of 1 of 2. Okay, grid. One of 4, 4. One of 4. I don't think so any other difference, right? Yeah. Did you notice this? Record B form, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we have to implement this as part of account page, right? Okay. It's a problem, man. 1 of 3. Maybe the field name is incorrect. Revenue rating. Oh, I'm very sorry. I had to specify the object name, right? I'm audible.
Yes, Ranjit, now you.
I'm sorry, my kid is just pull out the Wi-Fi connection. I'm sorry. In the book, they given a static reference. I made the dynamic reference. Okay, listen. In the book, they given a static reference, but we'll expose the object name API property. I hope it will work. It works, no? So remember, no? In the book, they given hard-coded value, but you can also use RT object API name. Here that will also work. It works, no? So it's working. Okay. So earlier we had some issue in the because we didn't specify the RT API. You can specify the field ownership and rating also. It will work. Okay then. Yeah, it works now. So shall we continue tomorrow? Will you guys?
One doubt here. So we can't edit this one, correct?
We can't.
This is only view only, not like a record form. We can't.
View
edit,
form
correct?
just for view, and output field just to display in read-only mode. Okay.
But
When
if
you
we
go
update in other component, that will reflect in this component, right? Like last time we did updating the phone number.
see, if we have another form, LDS form,
Hmm.
where you edit the record, that will reflect here. That's a property of LDS, you know.
So here
If you have
account
edit
phone number
here,
is there, right? If you are updating in the component one in the UA, whether that will reflect in the this form? No, this record form.
what I'm saying here is, suppose I modify. You listen. There is a phone number. Okay, I modify here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is another form already implemented in this page. I save here. You will see that it will reflect. No,
Hmm.
that need not make individual server call. That's a property of your LDS. Individual component will get the shared record if the page is sharing the same record ID. Okay, so that's the important property of LDS. Yeah, we can see here. They use LDS to cache shared record updates across the components. Shall we continue tomorrow? I'm running short of.
Sure, Ranjit. Can we have at 10 o'clock tomorrow? Going forward.
10 o'clock. Okay, 10 to 10:15. I will connect. Right.
Okay.
Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, Ranjit, one thing. Can you upload
Good,
today's
good.
session?
I haven't uploaded yesterday's session, right?
No, you have uploaded. Yesterday we didn't have class, right? Monday, Wednesday.
Day before yesterday. Okay. Today class. Today class I upload.
That
Definitely.
is-
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.